I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who showed up today. You heard some really good words from Kevin Kelly, my father Lakayton, as well as Sino. We brought everybody here today because there's obviously some important matters that our community needs to tend to. On the 28th of January, Kinder Morgan came to the site that's directly adjacent from this side of the street and did some test drilling in the Salmon River watershed. That information was not divulged to the public. There were no notices put up so the public would know that they were there. The Township of Langley Council is responsible for ensuring that the public knows that they are there working. Every other company that works and has to have a permit, the public must know. We were not informed. So one of the reasons why we are here is to hold the Township of Langley Council accountable for this work that was being conducted here. In addition to that, the province of British Columbia and the federal government of Canada have ignored the pleas from citizenry in this community and every other community in the Lower Mainland who are opposed to the oil pipeline issues. They have ignored us, a vast majority of us who are opposed. The Kinder Morgan pipeline issue is undemocratic. So we called all you people here today because what we'd like to do is open the doors, a welcome mat, so to speak, for community groups and organizations who have a vested interest in the pipeline issue in Langley to come into our community and share your thoughts and your concerns with us, but also so that we can share this burden with each other and we can work on this together. And I'm glad that the Kwantlen First Nation Chief and Council and Elders Council are here to join us today. I see we have members from the Katzie Nation represented as well. Our kin from Musqueam are just around the corner. They came from Vancouver to be here. They're going to be speaking today as well. Just to give you a little bit of background on my involvement with these pipeline issues. This past summer I was joined with an international group of paddlers who we started in Fort Langley in Kwantlen territory and traveled 1,200 kilometers up the entire coast of British Columbia by canoe. It took 2.5 months for us to get from here to there, and it was the most amazing experience. We visited 18 communities, 14 communities were First Nations communities. Some of the most remote places we have in this province we went to. Some of the most beautiful landscapes you will ever see anywhere, and it's in our backyard. We live in paradise. But we also live on lands and along a major waterway that has been contaminated by decades of abuse and neglect by industries like Kinder Morgan, who have damaged the land and the water, that have caused irreparable harm. Commercial fishing, clear-cut logging, strip mining, where all those operations promised riches to the citizens who they employed. When they were done and they took the resources and extracted every last ounce of resources that were in those lands and on those waters, they just picked up and left. They left their toxic refuse there, and the people who live there are now living and they're dealing with it. Unemployment, addictions, poverty, you name it. Every social ill that can befall a community has befallen on them, native or non-native. And the questions that came from these people whose communities we visited, the questions that they asked, well, what's the difference between Kinder Morgan and the commercial fishery and the mining industry and the logging industry? And the answer is the same. There's no difference. They all see money. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about democracy. And they don't care about the environment. And they don't care about us. So now the people in this province are faced with the prospects of not one, but multiple pipelines that will crisscross this province, going through precious water and land resources. And everywhere you go, people are opposed. We are no different. This is our fight. These lands, this community, the community that we all care about, this is our fight. So I'm inviting every single one of you that's here today, and anyone who didn't make it out today but wanted to be here, to send the message back home to your loved ones and to your community leaders, to our elected officials, to the members of Parliament, that we will not stand idly by and watch them take away what is rightfully ours. So with that, I have no more Kinder Morgan jokes to tell. I'm very glad that you're all here today. And I will give the mic back to Sino. Oh, before I do that, there was one important thing I wanted to tell you. I did a number of interviews today with some of our media sources in the Lower Mainland. I look at today as a beginning. That this process that we are exercising today, our right to protest, our right to gather peacefully and say what we think and tell the world what our mind is thinking collectively, that this is only a beginning. So welcome. Welcome. We look forward to working with all of you. HCM. Thank you.